The United States has called on the Gulf countries and Egypt to address their differences with Qatar. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Yemen, Maldives, and Egypt cut ties with Qatar over its alleged links with terrorist organizations and questioning of U.S. hostility toward Iran. All of these countries are U.S. allies in the fight against Islamic State and Iran's expansionism. U.S. officials say the rift will not undermine these efforts. Zlatica Hope reports.
U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson on Monday urged parties in the conflict to sit down for talks and resolve their issues. But he said all of them remain committed to the joint anti-terrorism effort.
I do not expect that this will have any significant impact, if any impact at all, on the unified fight against terrorism in the region or globally. All of those parties you mentioned have been quite unified in the fight against terrorism and the fight against Daesh, ISIS, and have expressed that most recently in the summit in Riyadh.
U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis said it is clear that Iran is working to destabilize the region.
From Syria, where Assad remains in power today because of Iran's actions, to Yemen, where they have been contributing in an unhelpful way to a war that is marooning millions of people and leaving them vulnerable to starvation and health problems and violence. So I think it's Iran's actions that will speak most loudly.
The conflict between Qatar and its Gulf neighbors is not a new one.
The Emiratis and the Saudis have been very clear and very open in saying that they disapprove of Qatar's relationships with the Muslim Brotherhood, their willingness to host Qaradawi, the Egyptian jihadist preacher, and these have been long-standing issues.
Middle East expert Gerald Firestein says despite tensions, Qatar and its neighbors always have agreed on the importance of pushing back Iran's expansionism. But he says unity among the Gulf neighbors is important in promoting regional security and stability, and the United States has always helped its Gulf allies iron out their differences.
I would hope that once again that the Kuwaitis and the Omanis might play a positive role in trying to resolve this issue. I see that Sheikh Tamim went to Kuwait last week. My guess is that he was looking for Kuwaiti assistance in reaching out and resolving the disagreements, and the United States should support that once again.
Arab states have suspended diplomatic relations with Qatar in the past, but on Monday some of them also cut off land, air and sea travel to and from Qatar.